so I'm coming at you. I'm screaming. Oh, I want to show you. Okay, sorry. Not explaining this super well. I think it was called. What is this even about, man? What is this about? Hello. Okay, I'm coming at you today with what I'm reading in the month of April. And honestly, who really knows what's going to happen in April? But I can make a reading list. So, as we all know, things have been crazy. I didn't make a ton of time for reading in March after the readathon. It was when all this craziness was starting, and I was like kind of going a little crazy, and I like rearranged my whole house. This room was the living room. Now it is my office and library. And our dining room that we used for nothing is now the living room. Like I literally flip-flopped rooms completely. But I'm working from home now, and I wanted a nice, this is all natural light, wanted a nice light, a nice lit room to work in. My dining room table is now my desk. So, and I got a new rug. So, you know, coping how I can. Okay, so I'm gonna run through the books I'm reading in April, hopefully. Some of them are gonna look familiar, some of them are brand new. Let's go. I'm already getting excited again to start reading. I haven't really been reading much, but I'm like excited right now. So, that's why I make these videos. All right, first up on my April reading list is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I also realized that like the gold foil is like ombre. Can you tell? Isn't that cool? So beautiful. Okay, so this was actually on my backlist readathon list, and I did not get through it, but I did start it. I am now maybe like a third of the way through. I love it so much. It's like everything I want in like a whimsical Russian folklore inspired. I mean, I just like, that's like a very specific genre of book that I love, is like Russian folklore inspired books. So, actually one of my tattoos is inspired by that. Okay, so The Bear and the Nightingale is so funny because like when I tell you what it's about, it's kind of crazy for me because we actually haven't really gotten there yet. So in Russian folklore, I don't really know that much about it, so excuse me if I sound completely stupid. So there are these like household spirits and like, man, I forget the name now. I was really impressed with myself because I got to one of them, like the dang it. I got to it in the story and I knew what it was, and I was like, I'm learning things. But there's like a spirit that lives in the house, a spirit that lives in the barn, a spirit that lives blah, 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 blah. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to leave like little offerings for them. So there's like this one household spirit that like they like leave some knitting for, or whatever, some like mending for. Specifically that like household spirit likes to do that kind of thing. There's like one that lives in the stove and they like leave little food for him, you know, it's like things like that. So the whole household has always honored these little spirits, and they're usually like kind of cute or like weird and like small. I don't know. They're not like scary, as far as I can tell so far. This household is like, they have a little bit of money, you know, they're not like super rich, but they have like a nice household and like animals and like household servants and things like that. So they've always honored these household spirits, and then the main character, or you know, the whole family's mom dies. And their dad, after a few years, decides that he is going to remarry because his kids need a mom. And so he brings home this woman, and she like refuses to let anyone honor the household spirits. She's like kind of petrified of them. They're basically supposed to ignore them and not, you know, do what you're supposed to do. And then basically everything turns bad, apparently. I haven't gotten there yet. But things start happening, and it's up to the youngest daughter, Vasya, to fix it. So there's something in like the synopsis of the book that like talks about her using powers that she's kept long hidden or something like that. So I'm really excited. This is a very, very well-loved series. It's the Winter Night trilogy. And from what I understand, there's like girl power and magic and all kinds of stuff. So I'm really, really excited about it. I've loved it so far. I talked about it a little bit at some point. It's been fun. The story kind of like branches off in a few directions and like kind of sends people in different places. So you're like, what's that going to mean later? Which is fun. It's awesome so far. So definitely gonna get to the Nightingale in April. Next is The Queen of Atolia by Megan Wallen Turner. This is the second book in the Queen's Thief series. I read the first book, The Thief, for the Backlist Readathon in March. So I think it was like as soon as I finished reading The Thief, I ordered this on Amazon. It was like $4. There's like little characters, so I'm like, who are all of them? What do they mean? So, I've also started this and I'm loving it so far. I don't know how to talk about it without spoiling the first book. It follows a thief. This book actually is not from his perspective, which is interesting because the other one was. It was like in first person from his, it was in first person from his perspective. This is in third person, not from his perspective. So I don't think I've ever read a series that did that like switched, but it's fine. I was like a little bit sad to not hear from him, but I mean, it's still about him. So that's awesome. I'm listening to it on audiobook. I'm probably like here-ish. I'm not very far. It's on Scribd if you want to listen to it and you have Scribd. We'll listen to the first one, obviously. It's just entertaining. These are entertaining and like, from what I've heard, from what I've gathered, they kind of like, it's spinning a bigger story that you're not aware of. So the first one definitely did that. So I'm gonna guess that there's gonna be a plot twist in this too, because people keep saying like, it's a masterpiece. You're gonna be like, you're gonna love it. It's crazy what she did with it. You know, things like that. And I'm just like, what is gonna happen? Definitely focusing on this one in April. My car just stopped outside my house, but whatever. It's so helpful that it's on audiobook and I'm cooking so much, obviously, right now. So I just play it while I'm cooking and cleaning and it's great. It's great fun. Lots of new characters in this one. Characters that were mentioned in the last one, but you're kind of like getting to know them, which is fun. So read the Queen's Thief series because as far as I can tell, it's awesome. All right, the next book to make my April reading list is, I forgot what it's called. I almost said The Fault in Our Stars for some reason. Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinbrough. This is actually, so this was our March book club pick. So hard to talk. But we didn't get to have book club in March. So I kind of pushed it so I could focus on specifically The Bear and the Nightingale. But I'm going to add this to my reading list for April. We probably won't be able to meet in April either. But this is, I've talked about it already, but this is like a thriller. A woman like meets this man in a bar and they hit it off and they kiss. And then the next day she goes into work and he's her new boss and he's married. So there's like tons of secrets, it seems. I'm very confused so far. I'm not very far in. I've like started every single book I'm talking about, I've started. And that's my problem. But yeah, there's something weird with the married couple. I'm guessing that this woman, the woman that met him in the bar, kind of gets caught up in it somehow. That's my guess. But I'm excited. Supposedly the ending leaves people arguing. So book club will be fun once we get to have it. But yes, so this is our book club pick and I'm gonna read it. And lastly, my much anticipated book, the newest book by Emily St. John Mandel, who wrote Station 11, The Glass Hotel. Woo! I'm so excited about this one. It's so pretty too. It kind of matches her other books, but the font doesn't match. That's okay. So Emily St. John Mandel's books are so interesting and unlike anything. I say that a lot. I say unlike anything I've read all the time. It's kind of taking away the power of it. First of all, it's signed, which I'm so happy about because I love her so much. Okay, all her books, it's like, but what is it about? Because it'll be like, it's about this, this, and this, and then you get to reading it and you're like, no, it's about this. All her books, even Station 11, which I highly, actually, don't read Station 11 right now because it's about like this flu that like wipes out civilization. Eerily similar to current events. Don't read it right now. Unless you like drama. This is about, it follows a few characters. So there's like a brother and a sister. And then one night the sister is working in this hotel and she's like, I think she's a bartender at the hotel. And someone writes on the glass wall of the hotel, "Why don't you swallow broken glass?" They wrote it from the outside and they wrote it like backwards so people could read it from inside. It was intended for one specific person who arrived later than expected, so he never even saw what was written on the glass, like had no idea that it was there. So the person it was meant for didn't even see it. The main character ends up marrying this man, and I guess he's like the head of some Ponzi scheme in New York City. So that's kind of what I'm gathering. So far, I started this one. I'm about this far in. It hasn't been about that at all. It's more about the dynamics of this family. So her books just always kind of like, they go a little bit deeper than just like what would draw you in for the plot. So, I'm really excited. It's just what I've been missing. I've like missed her writing so much, and it's just like exactly that. I'm so happy. So really, really, really excited to get this one. I'll be probably prioritizing, I don't even know. I want to read them all. So really excited. So here is my April reading list. I'm super excited about it. Oh, and they all kind of match. I always accidentally do that. Like, look at that. Ooh, so dark. I'm really excited. They're all pretty different too. So I'll have a nice mix of things to read. And yeah, I'm excited. So tell me what you're reading, please. Also, if you've made like a reading list for April video, post the link in the comments so I can see it because I would love to watch it. Bye.